now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakney.
What's up, everybody? Got another episode of Live with Brandon Blakney in the chamber for y'all today. Two dope interviews with two really good guys around the community. One, Coach Harold Cone of Triangle Fitness out of Kernersville. Man, really came on the show, talked about his son Jalen Cone going to Virginia Tech, signed rising freshman, expected to do some big things. Has another son, Madison Cone, in the Power 5 Conference, Big Ten, playing at Wisconsin football. He came on and talked a little bit about LeBron James and just what's going on with him celebrating his kid. Everybody has a different opinion going, whether Bron's right or whether Bron's wrong for cheering on his firstborn. So, who better to talk to about it than a guy that trains numerous athletes, that sent 3 sons to play collegiate athletics, and has another kid on the way in Joy Cone, a daughter that's pursuing her dreams as well. So Coach Cone came on, gave the whole spiel. We pulled up the Triangle Fitness, the sweat box, and it was real, man. So we'll definitely dive into that interview, and shout out to Coach Cone for having us. Also, my guy, WXII 12 News sports anchor Chris Lee came through. We pulled up on him, and it was just an awesome interview. He had been down in Spartanburg covering the Panthers, so we got some Panthers talk for all my Panthers fans out there. NFL right around the corner, you know what I'm saying? We also talked to him about the Wyndham that just wrapped up in Winston-Salem last week, the golf tournament, big showcase, big crowd, big pool in there. And also, I don't know if y'all saw, but UNCG bringing in NC State to the Coliseum for a non-conference game this year. The energy feels different because UNCG will probably be a favorite in this game, and that's no cap for everybody watching. And we'll also look at a new series where I'm spotlighting some transfers that are moving schools. Right now, we'll start with the inaugural. We'll start with basketball. 5 stars on the hardwood that have made the jump to a different school to keep an eye out on. So we got an action-packed episode for y'all today. With no further ado, man, we're gonna jump into it. Let's get into this Coach Cone interview. Appreciate y'all watching.
Hello, my name is Harold Cone, and I'm lead basketball trainer here at Triangle Fitness, and I'm live with Brandon Blakney.
What's up, everybody? We're back at it again, live with Brandon Blakney. Got my guy, Coach Cone, here in the building. Pulled on him.
Yes, sir.
Coach, man, you know stranger to the game, heavily involved in the hoops community. 2 sons of your own, or 3 sons, of your own, a daughter, all of them involved in athletics. What is it like just to see your kids succeed in that realm and, you be able to be such a big part of that?
Listen, it's exciting. It's just, it's just awesome, man, when you go to events and, you see your child excelling and just competing out there.
Yeah.
And especially, if you played a part in it, man, it's almost like you're competing yourself. So it really is. It's fun and it's exciting.
And you watching your guys, I know most recently Jalen just finished up. One of the most explosive guys coming into the college ranks. No stranger to the hype. You've seen him do it all at pretty much every level. We see the stuff that's going on with LeBron, and
Yes, sir.
him being just a basketball dad, hyping the crowd. You've always been opinionated on Twitter. What
Yes,
are your
sir.
thoughts on that? Just being a basketball dad yourself.
Man, hey, I just think LeBron is really enjoying the ride of his son, being there, having the ability to be there with his child. Listen, we're living a day and time where, especially African-American males, dads aren't present, and LeBron didn't have that in his life, and so I think he's enjoying the process. He didn't make the playoffs this year, so he was able to be a part of the travel ball, and I just really think he's enjoying it. And not only that, Brandon, personally, I feel people are enjoying it too. When Bron comes through the door, Bron's in the building. You know, I remember being a part of Adidas out there in California, and Bron was outside. It was kind of crazy at the time because we had the Ball Boys in the building, we had Zion in the building there with Adidas, and Bron was outside and couldn't get in because the security wasn't there.
Crazy.
And man, listen, hey, that was a big deal. You know, so people get excited, they get hyped at these events.
What do people that haven't experienced this atmosphere not understand about being in that packed gym when you see somebody just punch one on somebody?
Yes, sir.
And the energy's high? Like, how can you tell people that really just haven't experienced that?
Man, I'm just telling you, high quality, high level basketball, especially at what you might call the grassroots level, is just incredible. I just think, listen, locally we experienced the other day when we had New Light Disciples go against the Greensboro Warriors, unsigned seniors. You know, I didn't understand it that all these kids knew each other, all of them were friends. Man, I came to see another game. Next thing I know, I'm captivated by these kids just going at each other. The Dunn kid battling, then the McIntyre kid battling, then this Thomas kid who I don't know nothing about, he's battling. I'm like, man, what's going on here? These kids are going for it. And then the parents, a little spat on the side with the parents. And then, that high energy that's going on. Now, at the travel ball level, if you ever been to a Peach Jam or, to some of these high, man, listen, you take that, and I hate to say it, you times that by 10, and it's incredible atmospheres, So it's really a great time. And if you're a basketball enthusiast, man, you love it. You're like, this is incredible here, man. So
for sure. With Bron being on the court, he's caught a lot of flack. Not even cheering for his kid, but just with him being on the court, doing the layup lines and stuff. What do you think about that? We obviously know every Pops couldn't pull that off, but just him being LeBron, most people think it's acceptable. What are your thoughts on that? And do you truly think that he's costing kids reps in the process?
Sir, I just really think, be honest with you, this is just me. I think everybody's loving the atmosphere. I think when he's in the building, the kids are getting hyped. I think kids are like, hey, they're trying to go at his team, the Blue Chips team. I'm involved with the team that I trained, that they were going to play the Blue Chips, and they were excited to play against what? LeBron's team. So they love it when he's in the building. And I think a lot of times I think Bron takes some undue criticism, man.
Agreed.
Yes, he jumped on the court, which probably should have been a technical. But the fact is, the way the atmosphere was, that kid ran and chest bumped him. I just know this. I know this. I wasn't a dunker. I was with the handles. And I know if I shook somebody, and then back in my day, Pearl Washington would have came on and chest bumped me, I would have went crazy too. I would have loved it, and it'd been memorial to me. So I'm just saying, man, that I think a lot of times people just have to not be so hard on the man and understand it, and not saying that maybe a mistake might not have been made there or whatever.
For sure.
But the fact is that, listen, he's hyping the atmosphere and he's hyping his son, and the truth is, the people love it.
Definitely, I agree. I'm a fan. You've seen recruitment on both sides of the football field. You got two sons in Power 5 conferences right now heading out. We both know it is true. The parents are recruited just like the player. Is he costing Bronny looks right now?
No. Man, listen. I believe that everybody knows that how he is. Those college coaches, I mean, I think personally it depends what they want. But the fact is, I really think that a lot of these schools, listen, they talk to parents. They want to talk to parents. They want to know, where do you stand with things? So, they want to know, where does he stand as a parent? What sort of, how do you see things? But let me say this. I very doubt that he would do that during an ACC game or a Big Ten game or whatever. So, I just think it's that atmosphere, that travel ball atmosphere.
It's wide open.
I use this word on Twitter a lot of times, and some people don't like it. But the fact is, I just think sometimes people might be hating on the man a little bit. Maybe by some opinions that they have of him. Did he make a mistake, or could he made a mistake? Yes. But the bottom line is, man, to over crucify somebody and to be totally down on somebody, I think it's just too much. Too much.
How important is that, just having those role models for those kids to look up to? Because it seems like the parents are more upset about it than anything. You haven't really heard about any complaints about the kids, you know.
Man, can I just tell you, I just think the kids love it. Now, Brandon, I had a situation where I was coaching football with my kids that were young, and I wasn't a head coach. I was just one of those side coaches helping out before. And before practice, I used to throw the footballs. The kids used to do routes on the field. But guess what? There was another guy over there throwing balls and throwing routes. His name was Ricky Pro. And you know what? Man, those kids loved. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. Ricky Pro's line to go out for passes were a lot longer than my line. Because you know why? Those kids wanted to catch passes from Ricky Pro. At the time he played for he was with the Carolina Panthers, and the kids loved it. So, listen, you can't hate on that, man. The kids love the atmosphere to say, hey, I went out and caught a ball from Ricky Pro. Those kids love that. You know what I'm saying? They were middle school kids. So I just think that sometimes, man, we forget the fact that, we were kids and there were people that we looked up to.
Exactly.
There was heroes that we had. Mine was Pearl Washington. I don't know who yours was coming up, but listen, right now, you're a Penny Hardaway guy. Yeah, so a lot of those guys, man, listen, they look up to Bron, you know? So they're wearing his shoes, and so I just think that now he has an opportunity, and with Taco Tuesday and everything, you're showing the atmosphere of being an involved dad, with your kid, hyping. At the dinner table, man. Those things are just great role models. Tell you the truth, when I first saw it, I said, man, I got to make this little fun at the household. You know what I'm saying? Bring my family together, have a good time. And those are real things, man, in our communities of having our families and having them loving one another and being together.
Most definitely. Speaking of family, before we let you get out of here, got to get your predictions, man. What's Wisconsin football looking like this year?
Man,
what y'all expecting in year 3?
Man, I'm telling you, it's going to be something. The Big Ten is tough.
It is.
The
Probably
Big
the
Ten,
best football conference, head bottom to top.
Bottom to top. It's a tough conference. So what happens is, we got a new quarterback. The defense is going to be new in a lot of aspects. It's going to be young. My son's going to be a part of that.
Sure.
And so, those guys, they have to go. They're starting camp. The first of the, which is coming up.
Definitely.
And so, they're going to have to get everything together, go hard. But, like anything else, staying healthy.
For sure.
That right there is going to be big. That's right there is going to be big. But I'm excited. I think it can be good, but gosh, man, Ohio State's going to be good, man.
Always the juggernaut up there.
Man, they're going to be tough. Penn State's going to be tough.
Yeah.
You got some tough, and it's not only that, Wisconsin has a tough schedule this year. It's not one of those schedules that you can say, hey, it's kind of cupcake and they're padding some wins. Nah.
And they usually play a tough non-conference schedule.
That's right, man. Hey, they're in there. And they're playing tough in conference. So when you got to play the Ohio State, you got to play the Michigans, boy, it's going to be a tough one, man. But we're going to be right there rooting.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to be pushing Coach Chris and everybody else through. And we're going to hope for the best that we can do real well. And I think we got the Heisman Trophy winner, too.
Okay.
That's right, Taylor.
Insight.
That's right, Taylor. Yeah, that's right, Taylor for the Heisman.
Okay. Dig it. Now, one more thing before we let you go. You got the VTech shirt on,
yes,
repping the home team now. Predictions for Virginia Tech this year.
New coach.
Very, very young. Your son, Jalen Cohn's going to have a big role this year, presumably. What are expectations and what's a successful season in your eyes this year for those guys?
Man, I'm going to tell you, just to compete, man, when you got to play Duke, man, you got to play Carolina, that daggone Virginia. Man, and then the kids that are in that conference, me and my son, we're going to be in here tonight. And, you talk about the Cole Anthonys and the Trey Jones and the Lyles and, the Childresses. Those are tough guards he's going to have to face night in and night out.
Definitely.
So listen, Coach Young, if I can just say this, the utmost respect. You know, it's one of the things that really pulled us and our decision making with Coach Webster. You know, Jalen had some really good options.
He did a lot of
Yeah,
options.
some things came in even at the end. You know, and man, he said, "Dad, this is where I want to go. This is, you know, we're going up there this weekend. It's just gonna be a fun time. I can't, you know, listen, I was reading the ACC Journal last night, and I think they had them at 13th in the conference. I mean,
Coming in as an underdog.
coming in as an underdog. But like I told them, man, listen, let's go out there and compete every night.
Exactly.
Let's play hard. I know Landers Nolly.
Oh, yeah.
He was with Team Loaded when I was with Team Loaded.
6'7".
So yeah, so he can hoop. You know, we got the local kid Chico.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the tough CP3 kid. So I mean, you have some. You got some hoopers there who can do it. You know. You know, you lost some kids through the transfer portal, and then, listen, lost some. I saw Justin Robinson about 2 weeks ago at the CP3 Elite Camp.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, the bottom line is he's with the Wizards now. I mean, those guys in the NBA living their dreams.
Definitely.
So I'm excited, man. I'm excited
time.
just to go out there and see him compete, and I just need some frequent flyer miles.
I was going to say, you're going to be racking up the miles
I'm gonna be
now,
racking
Coach.
up, man. We got to hit Hawaii for the Maui.
Oh, man,
And
that's
we got
good.
Michigan State. You know, the Winston kid,
Hey,
man,
if you
who's
need
a
camera,
hooper.
man, let me know.
Come on, baby.
Come out.
Hey, man, we need you. But listen, it's exciting time in the Cone household,
For sure.
and I just thank God Drew's getting ready to hit Arkansas for his final year.
New school for him,
new
start
school for him. And listen, I kept telling everybody, they didn't want to hear it, but baby girl, she's actually going on her first league camp. She's hitting VTAC. Then she'll be turning around. She'll be visiting with Wake Forest.
And she's at Salem Baptist this year.
Yeah, man, and she has made a decision, you know, to kind of transfer this year, and you know, so we sat down, looked at everything, and man, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you, man. I've been in the gym with all my kids. I'm tell you right now, she has a chance to be super special.
Oh, yeah.
She really has some great abilities, and she's a lefty.
Gotta love the lefties.
Yes, sir. She's a
Lucky
lovely
lefties.
lefty.
And quite a singer off the court,
Yes,
too.
sir. Yes, sir. She's actually singing this weekend at the festival in the Black Theater Festival in Winston.
Dope.
So we'll be there and hopefully to come out there with something big. She got some surprises she done brought in. So she's looking to do some
Definitely
big things.
be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, so we're excited, and I'll just be honest with you, man. It's just a great time, and listen, and my wife is getting ready to be a principal, man. She's in a principalship. So we rolling. We're doing a whole bunch of everything.
Taking over.
Yeah, but we're excited. We're excited for our community.
Definitely.
Because you know, I'll be honest with you. One thing we've always talked about with the boys, you know, we always wanted to rep our city and rep the area that we're from in a good light.
Yes, sir.
And we're just eternally grateful for what God has blessed us with, man. Because really without Him, we couldn't do anything.
Facts. Hey, nobody deserves it more, Coach. Let them know where to find you before we let you get out of here. Social media, all that good stuff. Let them know so they can look you up and keep up with all the latest with you.
Well, man, we're here at Triangle Fitness, man, just getting it in every day. Boy, we had a crowd in here this morning and just got a little break. And thank God Brandon came by. We'll go back at it at 4 o'clock again today. And then later on, we'll come back with our late night with some college guys and upper level elite high school guys. So we're just really excited about getting some good work in here over here at Triangle Fitness. We're at 905 Old Winston Road. That's in Kernersville, North Carolina. And man, listen, come by. Give us a call at 336-918-5065. If you want to get some work in all sports, speed, agility, we kind of do some different things. And man, just forming the elite and the total package of an athlete.
Coach, they heard it here first.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
you again for letting
Appreciate
me come
you.
through, man.
Yes, sir.
No doubt.
Thank you.
For all the latest and the greatest, subscribe to Live with Brandon Blakney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. You did? Welcome back. Hope y'all enjoyed it, man. It was a blast shooting that and just rapping with Coach Cone, one of the most respected hoops figures in the community, in the hoop sphere around North Carolina. So that was dope. And we expect some big things from Virginia Tech basketball and Wisconsin football as well. Also got another interview for y'all loaded up. But first, let's jump into some of these transfers. I just really want to talk about all this movement going around right now in the all season. It feel like NBA free agency, man. It's just the trickle down effect. It's hitting every aspect of hoops, every level right now. But with no further ado, let's dive into these transfers, man. So first up, we got arguably the most upsided player in high school right now, and that's Mr. Isaiah Todd, 6'11", 2020 rising senior. Just does a lot of things, plays the game really well, does a lot of things very well, has ball skill. He made that move from Trinity of Raleigh over to Word of God. New coach, new faces coming in, and he won't be the only player from there on this list, but we'll save that. Todd just a beast, man, can handle it, dribbles it really well, shoots it really well off the dribble, can take his man off the dribble, athletic, explosive finisher, long, polished, back to the basket game. There's just a lot he does well, sees the floor well, runs the floor like a gazelle. He's going to be instant impact, a nationally renowned five-star recruit looking to make some noise, and he's already talking like they want Sierra Cannon. So that's gonna be interesting to see how that develops. But it will be fun to watch them go up against Moravian. Starting off with a bang, Isaiah Todd's definitely gonna make some noise, and it'll be interesting to see. He's got the Kentuckys, the Kansases, the North Carolinas of the world after him, the Memphises. So one of the most sought after recruits nationally right now, and he looks like he'll be in for a big season. Moving on, we mentioned earlier Moravian Prep. Now I heard some rumblings, but now it's official. We can speak on it. Arguably the most explosive point guard in the hoop state, one of the best in the Southeast, one of the hottest names tracking right now, and that's Shaquille Moore. Has a load of offers. He just picked up Pitt not too long ago, but it just seems like he's getting Power 5 offers every other day. He's got looks in the SEC, ACC, and Big Ten. Big East, so it's just going to be interesting to see. But he's joining probably should be a nationally ranked team in Moravian Prep. They had a few guys that could have made this list, but Shaq is the latest, explosive, high flying, just a straight dog. You just can't coach that, man. It's just you're born with it or you're not. He's been killing NBA top 100 on the AAU circuit. Top 80, it doesn't matter what the stage is. Killing with his high school team at Piedmont Classical, 3-time state champion. Now he's making the move over to Moravian to team up with Javarze Belton, Josh Hall, of course, Luke Davis, another new name there. Man, that roster just top to bottom. Jamari Harvey, it's just loaded. This team is gonna beat some higher touted nationally ranked teams, and they should be considered for a national ranking in consideration themselves. This is a team that has probably the best chance right now, at least on paper, to make a run at Dick's Nationals from the state of North Carolina. No shade to anybody else. So it's just going to be very fun. It's going to be Showtime TV to see Moravian this year, and Shaquille Moore just adds to an already loaded roster. Now they have their point guard, and it's just going to be fun to see, man. It's going to be fun to watch that group. So big ups to Shaq. It'll be interesting to see where he goes to. Great guy. Moving on, Jalen McDonald, another player that we mentioned. When I said we weren't done Word of God, this is what I meant. Jalen McDonald moving over to Nightdale, and he's coming to team up with Isaiah Todd at Word of God. That is huge. One of the most explosive athletes in the 2021 class. 6'5" combo guard. Really coming into his own. Looks like he's about to explode, man. He got the Ole Miss offer early on, but now his game is just expanding, and with that, so is his offer list. Just getting more and more polished, sharpening up on those tools. Putting the ball skills with that athleticism, and him and Isaiah Todd are going to be one of the best 1-2 punches in the state, arguably. They've got some talent returning as well at Word of God, so we'll see. Sure, they're not done bringing in guys. We might see some more new faces headed down that way. Just they're looking to really get this program back onto a national scale. So they should be one of the better teams in North Carolina, and it'll be fun to watch them compete and watch this team gel together. Because Jalen McDonald, my goodness. I mean, I remember last year he had that 360 that about broke the internet, my dude. Like, oh, high flyer. He's a show waiting to happen. Moving on, I got to talk about a newcomer to North Carolina from New York, Bryce Harris, going to Greensboro Day, 6'6", forward, wing prospect, guards 4 different positions, plays real hard. They're already calling him Ron Artest, and the game mimics that. Plays hard on both ends, real skilled, polished, point forward, can see the floor, dribble it, take his men off the dribble, unselfish, can stretch the floor open with the 3 ball. He's already got a load of Division I offers as well, and I'm expecting him to break out this year and just rack up the offers around the Southeast. He will be a household name around the hoop state very, very soon. Just excited seeing him on a couple occasions with Greensboro Day, just gritty. Love the way he plays, hard on both ends, non-stop motor, and he fills a very big void for a Greensboro Day. They also got Jaden Young, who didn't make the list, but we will be seeing him too. Greensboro Day, Coach Frey Johnson, those guys just run. They are the epitome of basketball here. To be honest with you, just programs trying to mimic what they do, their consistency, and just their success. And it's no wonder that players flock and just look forward to joining a program with that reputation. And Harris is no different. He's coming in ready to put in the work. So it'll be interesting to definitely get a look at him. Rounded out, we got the new addition to Combine Academy, Jalen Hood-Schifino, perennial 5-star point guard in the 2022 class coming up. USA basketball participant. Just a winner, makes the guys better around him. Unreal advanced court vision, arguably the best assist man in North Carolina returning, and one of the best in the nation, to be honest with you. You won't find kids his age with that timely delivery, the touch, the accuracy, and the way he just sees the entire floor. If you're open, he will find you. He's been more aggressive this summer, scoring the basketball, looking for his. He's going to join new head coach Jeff McGinnis at Combine, the director of Team Charlotte. And it's not a bad piece to start building with. We know that he will be the first of several new faces that'll potentially be entering Combine's program, but Schifino could be the key to make this engine go and to make everybody around him better. So major pickup for Coach McGinnis. Great dude, great coach. And he's got some great players on the way. So it'll be fun to watch them. It's been fun to watch Schifino's development. He should continue to just keep getting better and better and better. So it'll be fun to watch. But that's just first. I know there's a lot of transfers to get to. We're going to get to as many as we can. We don't want to offend anybody, but this was just my first 5 that we're bringing up. Wanted to break down their games a little bit. A lot more action, so stay tuned for that. Moving on, for all my football fans out there, we will have some high school stuff next week. But this week, we focused on Panther Nation and just, them getting back to training camp. So with no further ado, y'all tune in to this interview with my guy, Chris Lee. You dig? What's up, everybody? We're back at it again, live with Brandon Blakney. Got my guy Chris Lee here with me from WXII. Chris, took us a while to get in here, man, but I appreciate you taking time out, man. I know you're a busy dude.
That's all good. I've worked with a few libraries before, but I didn't realize Winston-Salem was so strict on how they let people meet in a public space.
I had to get a background check in.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But we're happy to bring y'all some new content once again. So Chris, it's been a busy couple weeks. Football starting up. I know you spent a lot of time in Spartansburg with those Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
Are we looking at Panthers this year, or are we looking at kids, man? What you think?
Oh gosh. I think everything kind of rides on the health of Cam and health of the rest of the team. Because I think as presently constructed, the Carolina Panthers have the ability to make a deep playoff run.
Definitely.
But it really just depends on health. Is the defense going to remain healthy?
Mm-hmm.
They've gotten a lot deeper when it comes to their front seven.
For sure.
But there's certain pieces that you cannot lose. You cannot lose Luke Kuechly for any stretch of time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You cannot lose K'Wan Short for any stretch of time. You cannot lose Eric Reed or anybody in the secondary for any stretch of time. And
Definitely.
then on offense, of course, you got to hope that CMC and Cam Newton are healthy throughout. And if they are, man, I think they can really surprise people because from what I witnessed, I feel like this team, especially on defense, is a lot faster than what they were last year. Last year, Greg Olson was like, he was 33 last year, but he was like one of those guys who wasn't the oldest. He was maybe like the 7th oldest.
Yeah.
They've gotten rid of like a lot of the older guys. So now he's the oldest person at 34 years old. So
Okay,
like the
youthful.
whole team is younger and faster. They still have veterans, but it'll be interesting to see where they go from there.
Speaking on defense, now we know they struggled with sacks last year. They've added Gerald McCoy, division rival, Bruce Irvin, guys like that. Who are some of the newcomers that you saw out there? How are they looking?
Of course, like you said, Gerald McCoy, Bruce Irvin. Here's one thing I want to point out before I go to the new guys. But what I think is interesting is, Gerald McCoy was with the Tampa Bay Bucks last year. 2 years ago, Dontari Poe was with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
And then K'Wan Short, of course, with the Panthers the whole time. 3 years ago, those were the best defensive tackles in the NFC South.
Crazy.
And potentially, some of the best in all of the NFC. And now they're on one line together.
Nuts.
So the Panthers changed it to a 3-4 instead of a 4-3. So those 3 guys will be starting on the line together with 4, basically linebackers.
Okay.
And so that's where Bruce Irvin kind of fits in because he's a linebacker, defensive end hybrid.
Very versatile.
Very versatile. And I think it's 7 career games against the Panthers. He has 9 sacks against them. I think 8 of those are against Cam. So,
Man.
he gets to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Gerald McCoy gets to the quarterback. Then, of course, they drafted Brian Burns, who's another defensive end linebacker combo.
Speed.
Crazy. Marquise Haynes didn't get a chance to shine last year, but he's a 2018 draft pick.
Okay.
This system will help him out in a 4-3 because he's just like a young Bruce Irvin.
Okay,
so
nice.
You got that. And then you also have Christian Miller, who's the same as all of those guys,
Yeah.
who's also drafted this year with Brian Burns. So you've got a great combination of speed and youth and also some experience there. And then Trey Boston is just brought back.
Yeah, new signing. What are your thoughts on the secondary, man? Another real weakness for the Panthers for a couple years now.
Honestly, I think the secondary was good last year. The problem is the secondary can look bad when the defensive line isn't getting pressure.
True.
And honestly, I would have put our secondary against almost anybody in the league, because it was good. But now Mike Adams is gone. He was, pushing 40. And so they wanted to get younger. Eric Reed is back again. He only had basically part of the year last year. Now he has a full offseason with the Panthers. Look for him to have a great year. Trey Boston is back. And Trey Boston showed in his last year with the Panthers and also the last 3 years. I think he had like 8 interceptions over the last 3 years.
Hawk.
If the defensive line is getting pressured, Trey Boston is going to get that ball. So that's something that the Panthers were really missing from the secondary. Even though they were good, they were missing the takeaways. So Trey Boston brings that. And then also Dante Jackson, his second year in the league, had like 3 interceptions in the first 3 games last year. So he's going to be a ball hawk as well.
For sure.
And then Bradbury, he's solid. And then Rashawn Golden is going to step up. This will be his second year. So, that secondary is going to look solid, I think.
A lot of depth, a lot of speed, a lot of youth. Moving on to the other side of the ball, we've been hearing about maybe Curtis Samuel breaking out. I've been seeing him on a lot of fantasy boards. How's he looking coming back from that injury?
So, here's the thing about Curtis Samuel. He was hurt most of his first year, his rookie year. And then he gets hurt at the end of his second year.
Yeah.
He had a pretty decent second year. Gets hurt at the end of the second year after having his best game ever. Like in that same game, he got hurt. And then so he missed a lot of training camp last year. And then started last year kind of like slow because he was coming back from an injury.
Yeah.
And then so now this is his third year. So now he's able to go through. He hasn't been hurt, hasn't been injured.
Exactly.
He's able to go through. And now he has a healthy Cam Newton because Cam got hurt towards the end of last year, so he couldn't really go. Samuel's been burning everybody. Dante Jackson is like super fast, and one of those guys that probably could potentially like run track on like a national or maybe international level.
Okay.
I personally saw Curtis Samuel burn him a couple of times.
That's
so
tough.
Curtis Samuel, now that he's healthy, with a healthy Cam, and it was Cam who threw a bomb to him, and they connected perfectly.
Okay.
And the last time Cam had a legit like down the field threat he could throw through was Ted Ginn Jr.
Yeah, that did some good things.
And then so what's going to help out Curtis Samuel too is DJ Moore, because DJ Moore and also Chris Hogan, they're going to be able to get open and do whatever they want, I think, within 15, 20 yards. And then especially DJ Moore, he gets the ball, he's going. He has some of the best yards after tackle, after the catch in college. And he's going to do the same thing. So there's going to be a lot of people pulling in, having attention on him and Chris Hogan. We know what Chris Hogan can do from the Patriots.
And that's a sign that people aren't really talking much about.
Right.
How is he getting acclimated?
Well, I was going to say with Curtis Samuel, he's going to be down the field by himself and with somebody. So that's going to be good. But Chris Hogan, I think, gives him and Jarius Wright give Cam some sure hands for the short game.
Okay.
And, of course, you have Christian McCaffrey who can do that as well. But I think one of the things that the Panthers haven't really had a lot of dynamic wide receivers, really a lot.
For sure.
I think this is the best group they have.
Okay.
So, yeah, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, who I think is going to have a breakout year for sure. Chris Hogan, Jarius Wright, who is the sure-handed guy that they used last year. And, of course, we're all forgetting about Torrey Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Who's also a speedster as well.
Man.
So, I mean, they're going to have a really good group this year, I think.
You mentioned the talent around Cam, and he was coming back from an injury as well. How is he looking throwing the long ball? We've heard some reports, but you being down there witnessing it, how is Cam Newton?
One of the things that stood out last year is the Panthers will point to like the Steelers game and say that's when Cam started getting hurt. But I think when you covered the team, you kind of noticed super early on that Cam didn't throw it past 20 yards even very early on last year.
True.
So everybody was wondering, like, what's wrong with the shoulder? And then eventually the shoulder really did give out. First training camp practice, in one of the first plays that they ran, Cam went down the field.
Oh, okay.
So he's looking like he's fine.
Yeah.
And I think the Panthers learned from 2 years ago that not to rush him back so much. And they rushed him back. They put too much pressure on him. But then that's also why you draft what's the kid's name?
Will Greer, yeah, the kid from West Virginia.
That's why you draft him to make sure you have a decent enough backup just in case.
Even with maybe a little upside too.
Yeah, and I think Cam is looking good. He's motivated. He's heard all the noise about what he can and can't be. So I think he's going to have a good year. And then Christian McCaffrey is just, of course, going to take another step up. Somebody else that folks aren't talking about, Jordan Scarlett. If he ends up making the 53-man roster, they drafted him. He's a running back.
Okay.
They drafted him out of Florida. All the reports have been that his hands are just as good as Christian McCaffrey's. His breakout speed is just as good as Christian McCaffrey's.
That's big time.
Even though Christian is going to still get his touches.
Yeah.
If, you put two backs out there and everybody's going to be looking at Christian, then Jordan is going to be gone.
Get burned.
So we're going to see what's going to happen.
Well, a lot of Panthers news going on. We'll definitely stay tuned on that. Chris, I noticed, too, you rocking the Wyndham hat golf tournament in town this week. I know you were out there as well. Go ahead, cut them the check for that one.
Well, I'm just pointing to North Carolina because, I'm just repping the state.
For sure. So what was the energy out there like, and just having some of the biggest names in the game? For one, Jordan Spieth, my God, but outside of Tiger Woods, love watching him play. What is this energy like out there, and what is it doing for the city? I
think anytime you have a sporting event, no matter where it's at, golf, football, hockey, basketball, everything that you could potentially go to, baseball, it always feels great. It feels big. And it's different when it's a big-time tennis or a big-time golf event because they're on tour, they're traveling around. It's not like you have a team that's playing it and you could always go there and there's a certain energy.
True.
This is the one time a year that the Triad area can get a chance to get a taste of the PGA Tour in person. And so when it's there, it just feels big. It feels like I don't want to say North Carolina Super Bowl because there's other events in North Carolina, but it feels like the Triad Super Bowl.
Okay.
It's a week long. As we're recording this, today is the actual first round of the tournament.
Okay.
Of the event, I should say. And every day up until then, it's either practice or pro-ams or, just different, celebrity, charity events or whatever.
Nice.
And so it feels big. The local celebrities, the local big money people, they're all here and they're involved. I mean, and also I saw like the best porta potty that I've ever seen in my life there. Like when you think of a porta potty, you think about that like stinky little like square
little
joint,
box.
that little box, and you go in there and it's like you just lift it up and then it's everybody's mess
You don't
right
want to
there.
even look down.
You don't even want to look down.
Eyes closed.
And I just hope like if you have a porta potty, if you have to go to the porta potty, you don't have to go number 2, because it's unimaginable. These porta potties they have out there are pristine. They're like a trailer that comes in the back of a truck and you can hook it on. And then there's a men's side and there's a women's side. In the men's side, you go in and there are 3 stalls. It's probably as big as this room.
Okay.
You have an actual sink and you have 2 other stalls if you need to do some other business. And it's clean in there. Now, I imagine it's not going to be clean by the end of the week.
Probably not.
But I've never seen anything like it.
Them with the pristine porta potties.
Pristine porta potties.
I like that. All right, jumping ship before we let you get out of here, Chris. I know you as a UNCG alumni have been following the success and the rise of the program heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah Miller's been doing some things in the summer leagues and, the Chris Paul camp. Francis Alonso doing some things in summer league for the G League. What does that mean for this program? And also, moving forward, we saw they're bringing in NC State, an ACC opponent, to the Coliseum. What does that mean for a program to take that kind of jump?
Well, it's not it's not new for UNCG to have ACC schools come to the Coliseum. And that was really the purpose of them moving from campus to the Coliseum, maybe about 8 years or so ago, whenever it was.
Okay.
They routinely would have, will begin the season with an ACC school. Like maybe just 3 years ago, they started the season off with Virginia at home, and they came to the Coliseum. So it's something that happens a lot with UNCG. The last few years, ACC teams have been avoiding them because
it seems like they're not the underdog.
They're not the underdog anymore. Like there's a legit you look at that and that's a legit potential win for UNCG against NC State. But I think now that they have the world on notice, they're going to get everybody's best shot, including NC State, including Kansas.
For sure.
Those teams aren't going to take them lightly. Kansas can look back to last year and look at how UNCG almost beat LSU.
Yeah.
How UNCG had Kentucky against the ropes for 35 minutes and just didn't have the firepower for the last 5 minutes. And then NC State got beat by UNCG 2 years ago in Raleigh. And so they're definitely not going to take them light. But I am excited about this year's team. And because you cover all kinds of basketball, your audience knows. UNCG is starting to get those guys who could have gone to a Power 5 school.
Definitely.
But they would have gone to that Power 5 school and maybe had to wait their turn. And they don't want to do that. They want to go and they want to play now. So they're going to UNCG.
For sure.
And that's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
And then if you look at the landscape of the Southern Conference, Wofford's going to take a step down. They graduated a bunch of people plus lost their coach. Maybe ETSU takes a step down. We don't know because they had some guys transfer out.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Furman has some guys graduate, so they may take a little step down. UNCG had one of the best players in their history graduate, but it doesn't feel like they're going to be missing much.
Which is crazy.
And it's crazy to think that way because you got the Langley twins who are coming. Either one could get hot, from deep, or they can drive and finish around the bucket.
For sure.
Both can handle, both play great defense as well and can create points that way. Of course, Derico Williams, you're the one that told me about him.
Monster.
You introduced him to me. Straight up monster. Probably shouldn't be in the Southern Conference just with his athleticism. And I was talking to Kyle Hines, who's the best player in UNCG's history.
Killing the TBT.
He was really impressed with Derico. He got a chance to meet him and see him work out. He was like, this guy could potentially put some of my records at stake. That's how he felt about Derico.
Okay.
And Kyle has every record in UNCG for the most part.
Yeah.
So
that's a big sign off.
Yeah, it is. And so, and then, Bas Layton, I think that's how you say his name,
Mm-hmm.
Bas Layton. He's a versatile 6'9" forward, can shoot a little bit, can pick and pop, can rebound,
Nice,
so
nice.
they're gonna be good. And of course, Michael Hewitt,
Oh yeah, coming
who
in the shooter.
transferred in. He had to sit out last year because he transferred in, but
Mm-hmm.
has the North Carolina State high school record of 3-pointers in a game, 16
Wow.
3-pointers in one game.
Sniper, man. Sniper.
So it's crazy that UNCG graduated one of their best players ever,
Mm-hmm.
but with what they're bringing in and what's going to be available to play next year, plus guys who did play last year who are going to take a step up,
Definitely.
it doesn't feel like they're going to miss anything.
A lot of optimism around the
Yeah.
team this year.
Yeah.
A lot. And we've talked about that. Well, Chris, bro, we're going to let you get out of here. Definitely let them know where to find you, where they can tune in, check you out at.
If you're in the Greensboro, Winston-Salem area, of course, WXI 12 News. Follow me on my social media, Chris Lee TV. My last name is spelled Lea, so I'll just spell everything out for you. ChrisLea TV. Yeah, and then always I'm trying to turn out these great stories. So I have another one coming up soon. So
Definitely check out my man's Athletes of the Week, getting all over the try every sport you can imagine. Chris, definitely appreciate you being on, my man.
Appreciate
Thank you for
it.
your time.
Anytime.
Hey, until next time, live with Brandon Blakney. For all the latest and the greatest, hit that subscribe button. Hey, welcome back one more time. I hope y'all enjoyed it, man. I know it was just dope catching up with Chris, getting the scoop, the inside scoop, one of the hardest workers in the sports sphere. And, for all my Panthers fans out there, it's looking to be a bright year, so y'all keep an eye out for that. And that's a wrap for us. Stay tuned for all the latest and the greatest. Subscribe to Live with Brandon Blakney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. You dig?